Good morning. Jerry Brinkman from Berean Nation. This morning in my devotions, I was actually reading 1 Corinthians chapter 8, and it talks about the idea of stumbling our brothers. Now, it says an awful lot, and it talks about those who are weak in conscience. And now, what it actually says, and it says in verse 1, "Now concerning things sacrificed to idols, we know that we all have knowledge." Knowledge makes arrogant. Yeah, but love edifies. That's verse 1. And if anyone thinks he knows something, doesn't know anything as he ought to know it. Now, therefore, concerning the eating of things sacrificed to idols, we know that there is no such thing as an idol in the world, and that there is no God but one. For even if there are so-called gods, whether in heaven or on earth, as indeed there are many gods and many lords, yet for us there is but one God, the Father, from whom are all things, and we exist for him, and one Lord, Jesus Christ, by whom are all things, and we exist in him. However, not all men have this knowledge, but some, being accustomed to the idol until now, eat food as if it were sacrificed to an idol, and their conscience, being weak, is defiled. So, the issue that Paul is addressing is something that in my Facebook groups, in the circles that I run in, I saw handled very badly by some of my reformed brethren, I guess. Yeah. When someone says they don't like all the talk about alcohol, this is a sign of someone who is weak in faith and maybe has a problem with that. And if that's the case, saying, well, it's my right and I get to have a beer anytime I want, what if that stumbles your brother who's an alcoholic? Ever think about that? I can tell you didn't. That's okay. We're all learning. What was Paul's attitude? Verse 13, it says, "Therefore, if food causes my brother to stumble, I will never eat meat again, so as not to cause my brother to stumble." Sometimes that's used to make Paul's words say that we should all be vegan, and okay, that's not really what his point is here. But no, his thrust is more at we should always consider our brother or sister and their spiritual state before we partake in things. Current example, I'm actually a bit of a fisherman. Been a fisherman since my youth. And it disturbs some of the softer folk in our midst that says, oh, but you're taking those fish out of the water and you're eating them and you're killing them, and that's murder because meat is murder. Yeah, I know, it's all stupidity. But I have a very hard time doing that with someone who's come out of that and has recently become a Christian, whose conscience is not yet attuned to the things of Christ. Does this mean I should never go fishing again? Well, probably not, but I'll tell you what. I would never invite that person on a fishing trip and have them watch me fillet a fish. Because that's a little bit questionable. And this is where it will cause them issues if it leads them into the kind of thing that will make them stumble. And that's what you really want to avoid here. Therefore, if food causes my brother to stumble, I will never eat meat again. Is Paul saying he'll become a vegan? No, I don't think that's what he's saying. I think he's saying, I'll never eat meat in front of that brother again. And I will never put myself in a situation where that brother can find out that I'm eating meat. I'll never invite the individual that I have in mind on a fishing trip. I will never tell them that I'm going fishing. If me and my church buddies are talking about the next fishing trip upcoming, we will not talk about that in front of said sister until the sister starts to come around a little bit. And that can take a while, but it does happen. I've been a Christian now for a little over 33 years, and I've seen God change people's hearts and minds on issues far more important than fishing. So if that's the case, I'm just going to leave this in the hands of God and not stumble my brother or sister, instead of demanding my rights to be in the Reformed pub and drink beer in front of an alcoholic brother or sister. You might be surprised at who's an alcoholic. Just saying. I'm Jerry Brinkman. This is BereanNation.com. If this video is turned on its side, it's because I'm struggling with my device and I'm not sure why it's doing some of the weird things it's doing. Anyway, keep reading the scriptures daily to see if these things are so. Lord bless you.